Chief Palpatine and Ego Damask to most, Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious to each other, retired to the penthouse suite of Plagueis, who dismissed his guards, and the two began drinking fine wine in celebration of Palpatine's Senate victory. A toast, Palpatine said, to the culmination of decades of brilliant planning and execution. The two drained their glasses only to have them immediately refilled. And to the new meaning we will tomorrow impart to the rule of two. Only you could have brought this to fruition, Darth Plagueis, Palpatine continued. I will endeavor to live up to your expectations and fulfill my responsibility. Plagueis took the compliment. Upon his master's inquiry, Palpatine confirmed that he had prepared some remarks for a celebration the next day. He began giving Plagueis a summary of his words, to which Plagueis smiled. I'm pleased. Go on. Palpatine did, and Plagueis would have some tips here and there for his apprentice as the night wore on. Many glasses of wine later, Plagueis would become intoxicated and exhausted. Plagueis had barely slept in nearly 2 decades after an attempt on his life left him severely injured when a vibroblade removed a part of his face and forced him to wear a transpirator, which was now trying to repeatedly adjust itself almost in a panic after the unfamiliar sight of a fatigued Plagueis. After this attempt on his life, Plagueis would become quite paranoid, even refusing sleep and attempting to discover the secrets of immortality. His breathing slowed and his eyelids flickered and finally closed. Palpatine came to a stop after practicing his speech and gazed at his master. He let out a deep breath, set down his own wine glass, and took his cloak. As he started for the door, something stopped him. A sinister look contorted his face as he heard the dark side whisper, Your election assured. The sun guards absent, Plagueis unsuspecting and asleep. Sidious moved in a blur. The excruciating blue lightning shot from his fingertips and attacked the breathing apparatus on Plagueis' face. The moon's eyes snapped open as he attempted to gather the force inside of him. For a moment, Plagueis merely gazed at his apprentice after realizing that he was being challenged. Sidious, taken aback by his master's reaction, stood still before calling upon the dark side once again, drawing more deeply on it than ever before. Then the lightning came again. Sidious, reveling in this experience, would begin a monologue to his suffocating master. You useless old fool. It was Ego Damask as Plagueis who set his sights on a seemingly confused young man with meticulous skill, manipulated him into committing patricide, matricide, fratricide. Darth Plagueis, who took him as an apprentice, sharing some of his knowledge but withholding his most powerful secrets. Plagueis, who turned away from the grand plan to focus entirely on himself, in an egotistical quest for immortality. Sidious paused as he stared at his old master. Plagueis the Wise, who in his time truly was, except at the end, trusting that the rule of two had superseded, and failed to realize that he would not be excused from it. Plagueis, struggling for breath, managed to stand, only to collapse back onto the couch. You lost the game on the very first day you chose to train me to rule by your side, or better still, under your thumb. Teacher, yes, and for that I will eternally be grateful, but master, never. Plagueis' eyes began to bulge as Sidious went on. You may be wondering, when did he begin to change? The truth is that I haven't changed. As we have clouded the minds of the Jedi, I have clouded yours. Never once did I have any intention of sharing power with you. I needed to learn from you. You've been nothing more than a pawn in a game played by a genuine master, but now that we've won the race, I have no need for a co-chancellor. I have Maul to do what the risk of discovery might not allow me to do, while I execute the rest of the grand plan. Growing an army, fomenting rebellion and fabricating intergalactic war, corralling the Jedi and catching them unawares. Rest easy in your grave, Plagueis. The Sith will have their revenge. Plagueis rolled to the floor, lying face down. His lungs gave out, and he was gone. Sidious moved to the window and pulled the drapes aside. He knew those who knew Ego Damask would merely assume he died due to a malfunction of his breathing apparatus. Sidious stared out. The first rays of daylight were rising over the tallest buildings. Sidious actually had much more to say during his monologue to Plagueis, but for the sake of this video, I really only went over the most important points. But needless to say that Sidious relished in ending the life of his master. I hope you enjoyed this video, and may the Force be with you.